So, this is a personal story of my own that I wanted to share. So, my youngest is now 10. When he was a little boy and he started nursery, we would take him in the morning. You would go around the back of the building. It was only a small building next to the school. You'd go around the back and wait there until the teachers or TA would open the doors and let them in, and you'd pick them up from the front. So, within a few weeks of him starting nursery, we knew he'd made loads of friends and he was enjoying himself. So we pick him up as normal one day and we ask him the usual questions. Have you had a good day? What have you been doing? Who have you been playing with? And he tells us that he's been playing with his friend Peter. Now we know over the first few weeks of starting, new children are coming in all the time. And even though we're still trying to learn the names of everybody in the nursery, I couldn't recognise that name. I was like, I can't remember there being a Peter in the nursery. So days go by, couple more weeks, and every single day he says he's playing with Peter. And he would say him and Peter were reading a book. Him and Peter were painting. He'd even say other children's names and then Peter. So we knew that this Peter had become kind of like best friends with our little boy. So I said to my husband, I'm going to ask the teacher because it's really bugging me. So as normal, we take him to nursery one morning and I pull the teacher and she says, no, we don't have anyone called Peter. So I then said, do you think he's trying to say somebody's name and it's coming out wrong? Is there anybody with the letter P? She was like, no. She said, I can't think who it would be. And that was that. And a couple more weeks go by and he's still mentioning Peter. He's having so much fun with him, by the way. And then one morning, we take him to nursery as normal. We go round the back, there's other parents there with the kids, and we're stood there waiting for the doors to open. And he's looking through, it's all glass doors, and he can see his TA and he's waving at her. And he gets really excited and he goes, Mummy, look, there's Peter. So I'm getting excited, I'm thinking, oh my God. But then realise the doors are shut and locked, there's no kids in there. So I said, where is he? Where's Peter? He says, there, next to the teacher. And he's pointing at the TA who stood at the back of the classroom, looking at him, waving and smiling. He claimed that Peter was stood right next to that TA. In an instant, I knew my son had an imaginary friend, but what I found really odd was the fact that this imaginary friend had started when he was in a room full of kids and loads of things to do and loads of things to play with, loads of friends to make, and I just found it so unusual. So I thought, could it be imaginary friend? Could it be a spirit? Who knows? Peter, in fact, stayed with my son the whole of his nursery year. When he went on to reception in the next building, he never mentioned him again.